have I got a hell of an episode for you. We have got a lot to cover on today's episode of the Afterglow here for the public and very shortly only on our Patreon over at patreon.com/ISeduceTheDragon. I'm going to stop swiveling in my chair, give you my full attention, and I'm going to give you guys a brief rundown of today's topics before I introduce you, just so you can start thinking about what's going on. Who here listened to the most recent episode of I Seduce the Dragon? Okay. These topics.
We all did our homework.
One of these people is lying.
And find out on our Patreon.
We'll have to do polls. Who do you think didn't actually listen?
We have a series of topics tonight. Tonight, we're going to do what legally constitutes a threat. We're going to go to our in-house legal counsel first for that. After that, we're going to go on to large birds, general thoughts, kidnapping plots, etc., etc. Smiting. I have a personal story about smiting. Please think about, just smiting in general, followed by tanning thoughts. AKA, what's in your cart? Seduce a Moose, which is, we're going to go right over to our local, romantic, erotic, interspecies expert, Christina Van Epps, for interspecies couplings and preferred pairings. Also, with a discussion of the Netflix series Trip Crazy. And we are going to wrap up with too many to-dos, complos, and questions from our audience.
Sorry, you said chip crazy. I misheard you as shrimp crazy at first. And I was thinking of, like fucking Joe Atlantic, chum in the waters.
There's always chum in these waters. My name is Ryan Keeley. This is the Afterglow. I am here with, let's start with Dana. Introduce yourself. And then...
I'm Dana Scarborough. I'm playing Gentry Rose, Bitter Creek Dumont, and this is my holiday outfit. I'm a walrus, like the claymation.
Okay.
A+.
I love it.
A+ walrus. Yeah. It's so good.
It's an excellent walrus.
Yeah. From the claymation special.
Scrunch down a little because I just need the full. Thank you. Yes.
It's really big.
Oh, yeah. You don't need to do that the whole time. I just needed one visual of the full.
Okay. I mean, I wouldn't mind.
I
love
like
you're kind of giving Obi-Wan Kenobi, but walrus.
That's actually what I was going for. I found like a Pinterest board of just that. And I was like, that's what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, amazing.
I don't know if you're being facetious or not. So next up, Jess.
I'm Jess Parks. I'm the DM of this game, and I am wearing my Christmas finery is boyfriend's oversized XXL sweater.
That is spectacular.
Amazing.
The officially
So
coziest item, as any college girl can tell you, in existence.
Can you stand up one more time just so we can get a real example of the fit, how that's working for you?
Come on.
Oh, wow.
So chic.
Oh, wow.
So full.
That is nice.
You are encapsulated and folded.
Encapsulated is a great...
I was going to say, nothing shows the height difference between Jess and Sean better than that sweater.
Yeah.
It is a sweater down to her calves.
Literally. Sean is 3 Jesses. Like a Smurf is 3 apples, and Sean is 3 Jesses.
Yeah. I think possibly more, because I think I might be 3 Jesses. I'm not entirely certain, but volumetrically it's possible.
You're less than 2, I promise.
You're too pretty to do math. Don't strain yourself.
How dare you? I'm the most Asian one here.
We will be talking about our DEI initiatives in the new year. But can't because it's Christmas. Christina Van Epps.
Yes. Hello. I am Christina Van Epps. I am playing Tori, my Christmas fit. I'm leading into the fact that my hair usually clashes with outfits, so I am the tree. I've got my Christmas tree cardigan. I was thinking that it would have been great if I could have some kind of like star or an angel on top, but I could not find one. And then I just realized I do have a biblically accurate angel standee that I can
like
maybe
that.
try to affix to my head because I think that'd be fun.
Oh my God. How did it never occur to me to have a biblically accurate angel on the top of my tree?
I know a guy who makes some, so if you want one, I know a guy.
I do.
Oh,
Can we get a
and I
close-up of the
also-
biblically accurate angel?
Yes. Yeah.
And tell the listeners what a biblically accurate angel is. For those of you that are not watching on video, which is very few of you, because we're all patrons and BFFs here.
Obviously.
Yeah.
So in the different tiers of heaven, according to the Bible, there are different types of angels. I think this is technically called a throne, where it is several interlocking rings with eyes and thousands of wings. And I think generally speaking, they're also on fire. But this is just a cutesy rendition.
Bring it up
of
close
one.
to the camera.
It'll lose focus.
And there
I
were
think that's the
shepherds
sweet
living
spot.
out in the fields nearby, keeping watch over their flocks at night. An angel of the Lord appeared
She's
to
busting
them,
out the actual
and the
Bible.
glory shone around them.
There we go.
Of dozens of eyeballs.
Be not afraid.
Be not afraid.
Oh, and I just remembered I'm also wearing underneath this, I'm wearing my DILFs for Therapy shirt,
Nice.
which I also thought would be appropriate for the season.
Iconic. And I'm going to do I'm Ryan Keeley. This is my Chester Cheetah. What am I saying? Chester. This is what I get for not doing Dayquil.
You were doing great.
Sweater weather. Chester Cheetah orange sweatshirt.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that what you said?
Very good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Can you correct me if I'm wrong? When we were setting up, I thought I saw a little flash of like sequin shorts as well.
There was going to be a whole sequined outfit reveal.
Whoa!
Fantastic.
All
very good.
right. Party on the bottom.
Yeah. But the sequin bra was too scratchy. So.
Yeah.
I love it.
And
I'm Flanders. I'm wearing my most festive flannel.
yes.
And to make up for the fact that I was unable to procure anything Christmassy, I put up lights behind me. So getting the vibe.
It's very festive.
And I'm drinking hot chocolate,
very
which
good.
is also festive.
Now, what is the proof of that hot chocolate?
Oh, this is just with regular Jameson this time. So Jameson's only 80 proof. It's not 100 proof like the Rumple Mints from last time.
Is that because you finished the Rumple Mints between last recording and tonight?
No, I just kind of wanted to mix it up. I've been leaning hard into the peppermint, and I just wanted just a little reset tonight.
Well,
Also, I kept accidentally drinking twice as much Rumple Mints as I wanted to.
What's wrong with that?
When I opened the fridge, I saw that when Doug had gone to the store last night, he got like the good kind of eggnog that kind of like is made by like the glass bottle milk people, but they also do like a glass bottle eggnog. I'm so excited.
Glass bottled eggnog, though, is the best.
I would
It's from
know.
like this dairy. It's just like a regular like milk
I'm a
fancy.
never
it's like a-
dogger.
Yeah, and they also just do an eggnog every Christmas. They don't regularly do eggnog.
I mean, who would do a eggnog year round? That's psychotic.
Yeah, if anyone was like, we sell eggnog in July, I'd be like, go to prison.
I love it. I love eggnog.
Well, speaking of legal matters like going to prison for producing eggnog in July, which is a law that I would ratify.
A+ transition, A+ segue.
Flanders, what legally constitutes a threat? Because in our last episode of I Seduce the Dragon, character Gentry was trying to convince us that saying platitudes in a tone constitutes a threat.
Well, I have to preface this by saying I'm not your lawyer and this isn't legal advice.
Disclaimer, just have
You
it
are
at the
Partly
bottom of
just
the phrase.
as an ethical matter and partly because I was not informed that this would be a topic, so I don't know if this is accurate. I mean, the problem with threats is they're very subjective, and there's levels. It's like layers of subjectivity. Did I feel threatened? When I tell the cop, is he going to believe me or is he going to ask me what I was wearing? When
He's not
the
going to
cop-
believe you. He's going to ask what you're wearing.
When the cop tells the DA, is the DA going to be like, you guys are idiots? So in many ways, nothing constitutes a threat unless it's someone the president, someone else who is like, for whatever reason, will have cops
like a
and
town
stuff on their
speaker
side.
or like a god. Like what?
I think probably
Legally.
not a god legally. Legally, I don't think you can be arrested for threatening a god.
Yeah.
Separation of
What
church
about
and
if-
state.
Yeah.
But in this instance, if a god is threatening you,
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that also theoretically is kind of just like part of. It's like insurance, acts of God not covered.
Right.
Why would threats
Force
of God
majeure.
be?
Mature. That brings up a question.
Excuse me. It is force mature.
That brings up a question. Is it still illegal if you can't if you can't enforce it? Like if Gentry tried to bring legal action against Asmodeus?
Well, there's also
question.
there's like criminal liability and then there's like civil liability. And so
She can't really prove damages.
yeah, so kind of for civil you have to be able to prove damages. And for criminal you have to be able to get a cop and a DA to agree with you, and then for a jury to find that person guilty. So like pretty much unless you're sending anthrax to the president, which
So
is
I
also
can't
like a separate
sue Asmodeus, essentially.
I'm sorry.
What
you
court
have no
even?
standing to sue Asmodeus.
I was going
I
to
do
ask
have
Jess, would
standing
this
to
count?
rewrite all of my holiday cards.
Yes.
I was going to ask Jess, would this be under because if it's in a dream, is this dream god jurisdiction?
This
is that
is
who
not
we
about
complain
dream gods.
to?
This is actually about real life practical advice
That's all right.
in the
all
real
right.
world is what we're bringing here on the Afterglow.
Yeah. I mean, practically, you probably won't get thrown in jail for threatening someone unless there's like a long history of it and or it's someone incredibly important or like related to a cop.
Yeah.
Okay.
But also on a practical level, fuck around and find out, Like
Yeah.
also probably don't
Right.
threaten people because
Fuck
Yeah,
around
I mean,
and find out.
I tell Asmodeus that, honestly.
yeah.
I tried to get
FAFO,
you in
baby.
there on that dream, I think. At
All
least
right. It's
once.
settled law. Fuck around and find out. Next
Possession
up,
is 9/10 of the law. The other 10th, fuck around and find out.
next
But also,
topic.
I do contracts for an entertainment company, so feel free to not like. Well, actually, me in any case if this is wrong because this is for entertainment, and I'm an entertainment lawyer in more ways than one.
Hey. You're also a doctor.
What?
No, don't you have a doctorate to practice law? Aren't all lawyers technically also doctors?
My
Which
degree
is an
is a
annoying thing.
Juris Doctor, but it's
Yeah.
not technically a doctoral degree.
I think that counts.
I mean, sure, we'll count it.
Sounds like a doctor to me.
Dr. Flanders, Esquire.
She does it all.
The doctor is in.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Large birds.
Oh. Okay.
I saw 2 ravens over the weekend.
I like ravens.
I had never seen ravens in the Los Angeles area. I had never seen them up close. They were very close. They were very large. I found it upsetting.
They're big.
Yes.
Did you know that ravens can mimic voices?
Yes, and they mate for life, which is why I saw 2.
Love them. Love ravens for that. They're so good.
They're so smart. They're very smart. Huckleberry wants to eat ravens.
Yeah, well, I think Tommy is home. We set up the driveway. We have a very long, it's like a 1/4-mile driveway. And so we have the driveway alarm. So now the dogs get to bark for a 1/4 mile before anyone shows up to the door.
Amazing.
Isn't the dogs barking before anyone shows up to the door the driveway alarm, or is there a separate piece of machinery that you have invested in?
I have 2 separate pieces of machinery that I've invested in. I mean, they're connected to the same device. They were like $30 on Amazon. They look like little owls. And you just
Aw.
mount them in the driveway. And so it plays a noise like like an old-timey bicycle bell, like ding ding when they first enter the property. And then if they get to the house, then it does like a ding dong and a lady's voice says driveway. So that's how we know it's like if I just hear one or the other, it's just like a deer or of some kind of creature. But if it's the one and then 30 seconds later the other one, then I need to put pants on because someone is at the house.
Do you keep pants by the door?
No. Well, actually, technically, yes. I do have. I do
Set
have
of door pants.
Outside
Do you have waiters?
In winter, I have my coveralls.
Yeah, of course you do. Of course you do.
That are fireman style, just like I have my big muck boots that are like knee high. And so I just slide those off and step out of the whole contraption. So there's just like two boots with crumpled up.
When you said fireman style, I was just imagining you descending into them
Sliding
on a
down a
pole.
pole.
Yeah.
I feel like that can be rigged up by spring. I feel like maybe we should add some stairs to go up and then come down. To the
Yeah, we'll put a second story in my house just so I can slide down a pole. I did
or a hole in the roof.
I did join the local volunteer fire department. Did I tell you that?
That's so
No poles, 0 poles. It's a 1-story fire department.
Yet.
Yet. Where there's a will, there's a way.
You're part of the team now. You can,
I know. Well, it's also volunteer, so like no one stays there. So it's not like we're all sleeping upstairs and we have to slide down the pole to get to the truck. So it's like I have to jump in my truck and drive there.
But aren't you volunteering for a good time?
I mean, you just have to plan a slumber party for the fire department and then bring a pole.
Bring a pole.
And that sounds like a good time at a firehouse.
BYOP.
The fire department also, bless them, they're very good. They're super effective for being a small little local volunteer fire department. Average age is probably about 65. I feel like a poll we would then have to respond to ourselves.
Does the fire department stay busy? Like what do they do in the winter when it's snow covered?
There was a house fire early Saturday morning.
Fireplaces.
And also with power outages, people are inappropriate with candles.
Yeah, it's mostly, there's some chimney stuff, but also just people, have their furnaces running all the time. Everything's like drier and they have more candles and stuff. So yeah, there actually have been 2 structure fires in like the past month, both of which the fire department managed to successfully put out, and both of which Isla ran in the building and rescued cats. So she is now locally famous for being the firefighter who will run in to save your cats.
Among other things I feel like she's locally famous for.
I love that.
I'm going to leave you guys to discuss large birds while I step out and grab my water. Talk amongst yourselves.
My question is, what large bird is Ryan referencing? For
Raven, which is, to me, is not that large of a bird. I mean, I hate to be a size queen, but I'm like thinking like your cassowaries and your ostriches and your rheas. We're talking large birds. Like,
I'm with Christina. Why did she bring it up though? Like in context
That's
of
what I'm thinking. The podcast.
the game.
Yeah.
Just,
In the context of the game, because there's 2 large birds I can think of. There's like the axebeaks that I don't believe feature in the episode, as far as I remember.
nope, and neither does Arl's rock.
Yeah. So I don't remember us mentioning the rock again, because that's the biggest of birds.
Talking about?
Yeah.
sorry, I just need you to know, in my mind, I've now just pictured Oral riding Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Okay, new mental image for you, because I need someone vicariously to imagine this. It's a big bird, but it does have Dwayne the Rock Johnson's head.
Is it Big Bird, but with Dwayne the Rock Johnson? Like Sesame Street.
But able to take flight.
It's Big Bird, but with Dwayne the Rock Johnson's head and arms.
And just like the strength of those arms lifts him into the...
Just flying and smiling.
Just smiling and,
Just flying and
getting
smiling.
paid $1 billion to be in movies that no one watches.
That's the reason
Okay,
smiling.
large birds.
Yep.
Large birds. My toxic trait is that I genuinely believe that I could have an emu currently in my current whole life setup, and it
You'd
would
have
be
to
fine.
get rid of at least 2 boats.
I do think that's man's hubris rising against you. Yeah, I
Yeah.
do think that's going to be like the tragic comedy that plays out in your life. Yeah.
For sure. Like, I do think that if I were offered an emu, I probably would have a hard time saying no.
I'm so afraid for
You'd be
you.
surprised at how often people are actually offered emus because they're
I'm really not. Because if I had an emu, I'd be trying to give it away real fast.
Yeah, exactly.
they can be very sweet. They can also be like
Sure.
Not the free ones that people are giving away.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, those are terrible.
So can abusive husbands.
But I could fix him.
Hi, I'm Dana. This is my emu, Carl. He hits me, but he always apologizes afterwards.
I mean, it's like an axe beak, but not it for the snow.
An axbeak is not like an emu at all.
To
How is
me,
an
it
axbeak
is.
different than an emu, Christina?
An axbeak, in this instance, an axbeak is similar to an ostrich in the fact that they are rideable. People do ride ostriches and also race them, which is very fun to watch.
Okay,
I also believe that there is a version of like polo on ostrich.
not in a way that like we would do in America. Because we
Shut
can't-
your pie. I'm sorry.
What do you mean?
I feel like we have like we're nicer to animals.
No.
Like there are laws about
No,
that.
there's
Riding emu.
As your lawyer, there's no law that says you can't ride an emu.
I'm not.
Yeah, people ride in the same way that we ride horses.
I think there are laws that you can't ride an emu because I think you would kill them.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
think there are
you
any
would
laws
probably
that you
kill them.
can't ride an ostrich. Getting my birds mixed up.
How big is a cassowary?
Cassowaries are big, not as
They're
big
big.
as ostriches, but they're meaner.
Are they
I
bigger
was
than
just
emus?
explaining to someone that they're basically
It's
it's like the opening scene of Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
the
they're
original
raptors.
one. They're raptors. They have 6 foot
Yeah.
or 6-inch talons that they will use to slice your tummy open.
My only experience of ostrich riding, ostrich riding is in the writing of whoever wrote the Swiss Family. That's not the name of that book. Treasure Island.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
nope, not Treasure Island. The other one.
Okay.
Robinson Crusoe.
Robinson
Nope.
Crusoe.
The Swiss Family Robinson Crusoe.
Yes, that one. In the book, they do tame and ride an ostrich. What's the other bird you guys mentioned? You said that is very mean and is like a raptor.
Cassowary.
Cassowaries.
Cassowary, I believe. Wary is in the name for a reason.
Oh,
They're not nice.
Not
The
nice.
other reason that axbeaks are different than both emus and ostriches is that they're slightly more dodo looking in proportion.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Except our modern interpretation of what a dodo looks like is based off of a poorly drawn cartoon that somebody did based off of a fake skeleton that was compiled from a bunch of different dodo bones. So we don't actually have the modern interpretation of the dodo is not correct.
Yeah, I feel like when we first started this campaign, I found 2 very different pictures of axbeaks, and one was kind of robust and intimidating and looked like a cool fantasy bird you would ride, and one was like, I'm a dodo.
I got extinctified in like 10 years.
You can ride me.
I'm a dodo. Just walk up and smack me in the face and I'll fall into your dinner.
That's what they did. Boy, I think it was the Dutch. I think it was the Dutch that you can blame for that.
I need to stop relating everything back to a Master and Commander book. Because there is a part where Stephen Matron negotiates for a bolster that has been stuffed with the feathers of a dodo. And it's a whole plot point. Cassowaries.
Nice. Okay.
One must be wary because their head hair bill is too fabulous. It's giving it's got the right wing fuckboy haircut, but in bird form.
And they got the talon.
Yeah, it's like a little bit of a mohawk, but definitely like skin fade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like actually giving emo straight kind of greasy, straggly black feathers. Mm-hmm. And like what could be worse than a emu alt-right fuckboy? Emo.
Honestly, an emu one would also suck. Both would suck.
How many
too late, guys.
square feet do you actually need to realistically keep an emu sheltered, Dana?
Probably. Okay, so more than I have probably in terms of how much space is being used by boats currently. And I would have
Please
to
explain.
make. I would have to make
to those
some
who are not
changes.
in on the boat commentary. Who
So I
maybe
have
knew.
several boats. I have like 3 canoes and like 2 kayaks, and 1 is backpack kayak, so it doesn't count. But then also like a big boat and also like a dinghy. So it's just too many boats for the fact that, and also 2 paddle boards. It's just a lot of boats, and they take up a lot of space.
Considering that you're landlocked, you
And
live
I'm also acquiring a boat to put out in the desert for my boat bar.
Why don't you use one of the pre-existing boats?
Because they're good boats.
They're
that
seaworthy.
We'll probably use. And
So what you're saying is that we could go to your home on the east side of Los Angeles and regatta ourselves in the Echo Park Lake.
it's navigable waters. So technically, yes, you could.
Can we though? Okay, but this sounds like a thing that I now want to do. Actually,
Yeah,
so
no, I would. As soon as I said it, I was like, "Oh no!"
Also, Ryan Keeley, at least as of 2019, had multiple sailor hats floating around.
I'm down to 3.
Back when we used to do the yacht
Dang.
club.
Yacht Club is wearing a dumb hat and renting the paddle swan boats at the Echo Park Lake.
You know, I've lived in Echo
Hell
Park
yeah.
19 years and I've never done a swan boat.
Well, it seems like we need to mount a full-scale attack on anyone in a swan boat using your home boats.
I actually
could.
fear that Dana will end up buying a swan boat, and then she'll just have another boat.
Yeah, I would love to have a swan boat, honestly.
honestly, it would take less square footage.
They're less expensive than you'd think.
It'd be less square footage than an emu. It'd be better. If you want to get a bird, get a swan boat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
She's not convinced. She wants this emu so bad.
the problem is also that if I were to tell Doug I wanted an emu, he would not dissuade me enough. Like, that's why we end up with creatures. I know. Ooh, red
Are you gonna
tank
swap
top.
Are you going to swap into the other fit though, or is it just going to be?
I'm just so hot.
That's fair.
Yeah, you are. Sorry, for anyone who's not
Yowza.
watching, Jess just took off her men's extra large sweater to reveal a tight little
Strappy red tank top.
strappy red
For all
tank
we know,
top.
it's like a little dress
Looks
too.
great.
Little red, tiny little dress. She's giving Asmodeus.
All right. So we are almost through the midway point in my suggested topics list.
We didn't cover rocks.
Oh, that wasn't
that-
covered when we went.
That's why we're talking about Big Bird. They were talking about the rock that Oral rides, and I was thinking of Dwayne the Rock Johnson as a giant bird, but it was Big Bird with his face and biceps. Well, whole arms. Not
Big Bird
just-
doesn't fly.
Well, that's why The Rock could definitely play him.
It's true.
Ryan Keeley moonlights as the Rock's agent.
God damn it.
He's got
Hey,
the role.
man.
You've done it.
That man claimed that making the backstory for the Jungle Cruise ride was a childhood dream.
I mean, some children have shitty dreams. It's possible.
Some kids need to dream bigger.
I wanted to be a South American drug lord.
That was too big.
be fair-
That's too big a dream. Reel it down.
Yeah.
If your family are all pro football players and pro wrestlers, I feel like you maybe just have mundane dreams. Like, I would love to make $7 an hour, making the same pun 17 times a day at tourists at Disneyland.
It's a dream.
Yeah.
Really.
It's a wish your heart makes. That's it. I don't know when we're going to move over to Patreon, but it's definitely by this point. That's 100% happening. So if you're not one of my best friends on Patreon and all of our best friends, later, loser. Bye.
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 Wait.
There's another half of a show.
Bye. I'm flipping you off.